My name is Mark, founder of Konsort Social. We're a TikTok shop agency. We work with some of the platform's top brands like True Classic, Salt and Stone, MySmile, BoomBoom, and we just crossed $50 million in tracked revenue on TikTok shop, and it all comes down to these three programs. So if you're a D2C brand, you're doing over 100k a month on Shopify or Amazon, and you're looking at TikTok shop thinking, how on earth do I actually manage creators at scale? This video is everything. Most brands are just blasting out samples, hoping that something sticks, or they sign a couple of creators and then just ghost them. And they're wondering why their TikTok shop revenue is inconsistent or why creators stop posting after week one. At Konsort, we have built three distinct creator programs that work together like a machine, and I'm going to break down exactly how each one works, the KPIs we track, and why you need all three, not just one. So let's get into it. These came from our learnings. As I said, we just crossed $50 million tracked revenue on TikTok Shop. We've been on the platform since day one. We were a TikTok agency before TikTok Shop came out. And we've seen the evolution of this platform over time, and our affiliate programs and systems have had to evolve. So what started as we would just blast some outreach, samples would come through, we would approve them, and people would post. And it was genuinely as easy as that. Like, it didn't have to be any more complicated. But the platform has changed. It's more competitive now, and you have to level up as a brand. You have to be more sophisticated and do a better job of managing these creators and having a built-out program for them to go through. So this is how we think through it. There's three stages, and there's three different types of creators that you're going to be working with. There's the mass sampling creators, who are these people here, and really you're going for aggressive scale here. So this is, we want to try and get as many samples out the door as we possibly can. You then have retainer creators, which is really about the consistency. It's about building a relationship there, weekly check-ins, using these people to test and learn and, you know, have people who are bought into working with you as a brand. And then you have your elite creators. This is your top performance. And here you want to go deep. Okay, this is deep investment. These are the people who are driving all of your revenue. Because what we've seen time and time again on TikTok Shop is the 80-20 rule. There's going to be, honestly, it's not even 80-20. It's like 90-10. 10% of your affiliates will drive all of your GMV. And what that means is you need to keep those people close. Okay, how do you make them feel special? Make them feel like you genuinely value them. This 10% group is making 90% of your revenue. Treat them that way. Let them know that. Like, make them feel special, get them involved. This is going to be a huge leverage driver. This is an example for Salt and Stone. This is one of the biggest things we implemented for them last year, which has been really working. So again, I'm excited to chat through this one. I've been working through this with Nick. So Nick is on our team. He came on kind of help us with our affiliate stuff last year. So I've been working very close with him. And we basically built these out into three distinct programs. So each one has its own processes, it has its own KPIs, and its own targets that we're working towards each month. And you want to treat them each with their own respect. So we're going to start with mass sampling. The thing I would say about mass sampling is you actually want to add friction into the funnel. Because what happens is if there's not enough friction and you're just blasting out samples, it feels like there's no relationship there. These creators are getting samples from everyone. You're just another brand in their inbox. Each creators have like 5 packages, if not more, a day showing up to their house or their apartment to make content with. And you are just another one of those packages. Like, they genuinely don't really care. And what we found is, you know, we could have all of these learnings on the type of content that works and the idea of the kind of content we want to get out of these creators. You send them a brief and they just don't listen. Like, they don't follow through on it. So you want to actually add some friction in here. Now, this can be putting them through like a little form. We try and get all of our affiliates to go through like an onboarding video, and we'll only approve samples to people who have consumed the video and confirmed that they've got that information. So we're adding some front-end friction for further benefit down the line. And you basically want to be sort of filtering people out who are not serious and not going to take your instructions anyway. The rough onboarding journey here, I mean, it's Yuka flows, it's SMS, it's email. You want to be communicating at scale here. So anywhere you can get in touch with these people, but doing it effectively, because again, the goal here is we want to be able to recruit thousands of people through this funnel every single month. So it has to be scalable. So first thing you're going to do is create some sort of onboarding video or quiz or form. I would map out that journey for you. So get up a Miro board or a whiteboard and map out the journey you want these people to go through and make sure it's solid. And then it's all about dialing in your flows. Okay, so email, SMS. It's relatively simple here. If I give you any advice on the flows, it's you're still copywriting here. Even though this creator is coming into your brand and they've requested a sample, it's all about you selling them the opportunity. So number one, you're selling them the opportunity and why they should work with you in the first place. But then also, once you're sent that product, why should they care about your package more than everyone else? What do you have? You know, is the product performing really well? Is it trending at the moment? Is there a particular angle that's picking up, which is really easy for them to start making money with? Again, it's try and use your copywriting skills because you're always selling. It's not just about when you get that sample through, you're then selling them on making the first video. And then once you've sold them making the first video, how do you get them to make the second, the third, the fourth? So the one piece of advice is study copywriting and treat it with the same respect as if you're writing a landing page or an ad script. In terms of KPIs here, kind of split this into two things. So there's onboarding friction. So we're going to track these metrics to improve the quality of creators we're partnering with. That's really going to be videos per sample. The percentage of samples where... This basically means like percentage of samples who make 0 videos, what percentage of samples make 1 video, or what percentage make more than 3 videos. GMV per sample, GMV per video, mean, median, mode of GMV per video. That's kind of what we're tracking there to kind of measure the effectiveness of the onboarding friction of mass sampling. In terms of onboarding journey, we're tracking videos per sample, again, videos, percentage of samples in 0, 1, 3, GMV per video. Some other metrics here on this one is percentage of creators that join the community space. So we can touch on that in a second, but we've got like community groups where we're inviting these people into. And also time to first post. This is huge because creators will get a sample. They will sit on that until they can't anymore. They will use their entire deadline. And if you can shorten the gap, and it's almost like time to value. If you can get the duration of these creators posting faster, the faster they're making GMV, the faster they're getting involved, the more likely they are to stick around. So that's another one to optimize. So that's your first program, is mass sampling. The one big piece of advice I'll give you here is add some friction into this process. I think you'll see a lot of benefit. The second program is retainer creators. So again, we were kind of building this out with Salt and Stone, and I'm not going to show you their numbers specifically, but it was really about maximizing retainer creator performance, not just outreach and signing, but like turning these retainers into GMV. The onboarding flow for this is, and again, this was a little bit more simple. I mean, you're going to go and recruit these retainer creators. I've got other videos on this channel where you can find those retainers, but the onboarding flow for this is get these people in a one-to-one call. You have to start to build that relationship. You have to sell them on the vision. Again, get all of their information, who they are, where they live, their mailing address, the other brands they've worked with. Like, try and collect as much information on these people as you can. Get them into a WhatsApp community group. You're going to do weekly reviews of the retainer creators. So every week you want to go through all the videos posted from creators in your retainer program, check that everyone is still posting, and do an analysis of the content. What is working, what's not, are the people following your briefs or are they not? And again, we put it in the contracts with retainer creators. If they don't follow the brief, it doesn't count towards their quota. So make sure that these people are following along. Weekly one-to-one touch points with all retainer creators. And this is important. A lot of people just add the retainer creators into one big group, which is great for managing people at scale and it's more efficient. But also once a week, have a one-to-one check-in, touch in. How are you? Is there anything I can help you with? How are you finding this? Are you struggling with anything? That goes a long way. You can say this is optional bi-weekly group calls. If you're running this internally as a brand, you might not have that capacity. But what I would say is mandatory one-to-one monthly calls. So at the start of the relationship with a retainer creator, and then also if you're going to reactivate them, get back on a call with them, resell them on the vision. Update them with feedback, what could they do better, etc. Really, and what you're looking for is ideally, these retainer creators are renewing with you month after month, and you're building that relationship. That's where it gets super valuable. If you get someone into month 3 or 4 with you, working with you on a partnership, that person knows your brand, they're committed, they know you, and that's when they're going to get really locked in. Same kind of rollout for this onboarding flow. Okay, that's a bit clearer. But The rollout, I'd say this is the key. This is the massive thing here. The key beliefs that you need to communicate to these retainer people. So as you get them on, and you've got that call with them. This is what you want to communicate. Long-term roster. We want long-term partnership, not a 1 month type thing. When they perform well, everybody wins together. There's more room for growth. So you want to communicate that idea to them on the one-to-one call. Also, relationship over contract. We don't expect perfection, but just consistent communication. Let us know if you're traveling, if there's changes, if there's issues. Keep us up to date. Again, it's not so much about the contract, but we're people, let us know. Additional revenue opportunities. When the content is good, they have options to kind of other ways to monetize, whether that's ads or whitelisting, deals off platform, that kind of thing. Team membership. You're part of the team. Whatever you need, we'll do our best to make it work. Really good one. It was the founder of Konsort actually mentioned something. It's like, you want these affiliates to feel like another member of your team, like one of your team members. You want them to know the brand the same way that your team would, or to care or put themselves on the line. So you kind of want to start that expectation of like, you're one of us, like you're coming in to help us here, like we want to work with you, and be on the front lines. Then growth potential, talking about how if you're an internal brand, then obviously you have to adjust it slightly, but talking about how, we work with other brands, the opportunities, what else can come from this, where you see the brand going, that kind of thing. Other kind of just admin tasks on that initial onboarding call. Get that form filled out if they haven't already. Overview the database. So this is kind of like we've got like a creator records database where we're sharing all the winning content. So make sure they've got access to all that. And then double check that they're in the community. Ongoing management of retainer creators. I think this is probably the piece where it starts to break down for brands, especially in that retainer program, is it can be a lot to manage. If you've got 10, 15, 20 people that you're having to kind of check in with week to week and month to month, it can get a lot. So the bare minimum in terms of ongoing management is make sure the WhatsApp community stays active, share updates in there, reply to people if they've got questions, and then at least once a month have this kind of like one-to-one review, one-to-one touch points. Ideally, you're having these one-to-one touch points each week, even if it's just a message check-in, but at least once a month. The people you're going to renew, try and get them on a quick call, and it can be fast. It doesn't need to take long. It can be 15 minutes, but the face-to-face goes a long way. And also reward high performers. If there is people who are standing out, reward them. It goes a long way. Make them feel wanted and special. In terms of KPIs for a retainer program, things we're tracking is the number of retainers who hit deliverables. So how many people complete all their posts. Retainer GMV, so per creator, as well as the total from the retainer program. Percentage of total revenue that was driven from retainer creators. Retainer creator churn. GMV per video versus the regular creator segments. So we can see, what's our GMV per video from retainer content versus mass sampling, that kind of thing. And then the final program is elite creators. Genuinely, guys, this is where the money's made. Like, if there's one that you have to get right, it's this one. If you have creators making GMV for you, you better make them feel special, because they are worth their weight in gold, genuinely. So you want to build a monthly system to identify elite creators and then manage them, promote them, that kind of thing. In terms of onboarding, again, one-to-one call. If you're a founder, manage your time effectively. If you've got someone on your team that can do this, then do so. If you are an early stage founder and you're using TikTok Shop to grow your brand, then this is worth your time to invest into. Genuinely, I promise. But one-to-one call to onboard these people into the program. We always give them some sort of like gift. So make them feel special, whether it's an influencer pack or some sort of bundle that not everybody gets access to. Give them something special, just as like a welcome. This is different to before. Not everybody's getting this, so it kind of separates the program that they're going into. And then also access to a private community. So we separate these people out into their own like VIP elite cohort, which is a lot more high touch point management. In terms of ongoing management, we're tracking their creator performance in there weekly, providing one-to-one weekly touch points based on performance. So we actually have someone going through like looking at each of these elite creators one-to-one, sharing data with them. Every time they post, we're sharing updates on their metrics, giving them insights that they can then use to make better videos. Send them surprise gifts, just out the blue. Just find get their mailing address when you onboard them. Out the blue, just send them things. Hi, really appreciate you. Here's a nice little gift set, or here's a hamper, or here's a nice little bundle for you. Conduct bi-weekly strategy calls, monthly alignment calls. As the founder, as this program scales up, I would honestly recommend at least monthly. I know it says quarterly here. We've actually changed this to monthly now. Honestly, probably even more. I know Konsort, they do weekly calls with all their affiliates, and Hudson, the CEO, gets on with all of them. The more you can talk to these people as a founder, the better. These people are out there representing your brand, advocating for you, driving customers to, come and check out your products. The more time you can spend with these people, the better. I know that you're busy. I know you've got a lot of things on your plate. I get it. But it's time well spent. Keep your resources up to date. Like, as there's new winning videos, make sure you're feeding it to these people. They thrive off of proven content and being able to replicate things, so keep them up to date. The KPIs we're using for the Elite Creator Program. The percentage of eligible creators who join the program. So just to touch on this, who is eligible to join your Elite Creator Program? It's going to change, because if you start at $0 GMV, then, the guy who makes, $50 is technically your number one creator. And that's fine at the beginning. You can put just your top percentile of people into this elite program. And as you level up as a brand and you start making 10,000 a month, 50,000 a month, 100,000 a month, beyond, your top creators are also going to level up in the revenue that they're doing. And that's fine. You can basically just adjust the threshold of, okay, the baseline monthly GMV to be part of our elite program is 10K. And maybe in a couple of months it bumps up to 15K or 20K. And you can continue to raise the bar, and that's fine. And also what I would recommend is you can remove people as well. If someone does a 10K month and they're just sat there and they're plateaued, but everyone else is raising and the bar is now 10, 15, 20K, if that person isn't able to level up and improve, then they can drop out of the elite program. Okay, that's also fine. It's like having a sales rep. Like if they're not leveling up performance, then they lose access to certain benefits, so they don't win the prizes, whatever. You want to keep these people motivated at the same time. So you can decide what that is for you. I would recommend having, to begin with, maybe like 5 to 10 people in this elite program, and then you can scale up or down as you see fit. We're actually currently scaling ours up pretty aggressively. So to be confirmed, I'll let you know how that goes. Percentage of creators who maintain access to the elite circle, so hit the agreed expectations. Number of videos per elite creator GMV, percentage of total GMV from these elites, elite creator churn, elite creator LTV, so total GMV until churn, and then GMV per video. These are some baseline averages. We went just kind of took these across a range of a couple of different brands, across a couple of different categories to kind of get an idea of where some of these would sit. This was like pre-launching this program, so feel free to have a look at some of these as well if you want to just use these as a baseline. I wouldn't dig anything too much. So again, I'm not going to go too much behind the scenes. Again, maybe in some future videos I'll show you exactly how we've set some of these programs up. But for now, have 3 programs: mass sampling, retainer, elites. On your mass, add in a little bit of friction, like make sure these people are qualified coming into the funnel. Retainers, really good management there, and then elites, make those people feel special. If you're not doing this, if you've just got a basic affiliate program and you're just blasting Yuka or Reacher or one of these bots and expecting your affiliate program to take off, I'm sorry to tell you, that worked 12 months ago, but it's not anymore. You're going to have to get more sophisticated with it. But again, I'm going to be showing you way more content on how we do this, so hit subscribe and keep up to date. And if you'd like help managing your TikTok shop, then the link is in the bio.